And we're live. Okay, so let's see if I can do this. I'll add Peter to the stream. And good morning, Peter.
Good morning.
Just a minute, we've got one or two technical problems. Just give me a sec. I'll get on top of this. It was easy. Everybody would do it. Right, how can you now, Peter? Hello, Peter. No,
hello.
Peter can't hear. Oh, yeah, I thought you couldn't hear me for a moment, given everything else that's going wrong so far. Right. Okay, we can say now we're live on Facebook and YouTube. This is Blabbing for Britain, episode 139. Hello, everybody. Dear me, how's your week, Peter?
Terrible.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, we're here to turn you up today on Royston Radio. We do apologise.
I couldn't sleep all night, and so I ended up. We've got a visitor who's got the spare room, so I came downstairs last night because I couldn't sleep, and I woke up this morning to my supervisor saying, "Did you see the email that came in through the night or the tech?" I goes, "No." That one of my guys decided to leave me at 10 to 1 in the morning.
Oh.
I quit.
Oh.
But, so that was that. I've got a van in getting its MOT. So we're a van down just now. I've got to say things are a bed of roses at the moment. But you just look at the bright side and the positive side, and you just get on with it. And hold on, I better take this. I'll mute myself.
So Peter's muted himself. He's taking a phone call. He's having not the best of days. Peter runs Aberkill in Aberdeen, which is a pest control business, and he's got operatives out on the road. And basically, if you have a rodent problem, or if you have a bee problem or a wasp problem, Peter's the man to call. And somebody's calling him right now. Waiting for John to arrive. As you know, we're the three of us. I'm in Devizes in Wiltshire, and Peter is in Aberdeen. And
hello,
Peter's his phone call. And John is from Solihull. Solihull, yeah. Wow. Okay. This morning there are traffic problems in Devizes. The whole of the town centre is blocked. Basically, roadworks. Yeah. And people doing normally to go from the town centre to go to the outskirts takes 5 minutes. Now it's taking an hour and a half hours. And people are late for work, and all hell is breaking loose.
Yeah, I can understand. I mean, my city's the same. We're just going crazy. But I've just had some good news.
Good.
My van's passed the MOT.
Oh, good.
So the van's passed the MOT, so that's a bit of good news. And when the chips are down, you say, right, let's think positively. And I haven't been on the tools for a long time, but I will be shortly, because I've decided I might do a couple of hours each day in the morning to help things out.
Okay.
So that and it'll let me get the feel of the job again. Not that I don't know the feel of the job again. So that's that. So what I would like to say to you, if there's nothing else, have you got anything else you want to speak about?
No, you're okay. I'm good.
At the moment, I decided I'm going to try and get German again. And I have ended up getting bombarded on YouTube with everything about learning German. And but I had a look at Angelica's. Now, Angelica's got a lot of videos.
Angelica has got a lot of videos. You're quite correct on that. And we've done 8 series of Ask Angelica. Yeah. And you've got every conceivable subject under the sun. So if you're going to stay in a hotel, you can just look for hotel video. Yeah. You know. Yeah. But carry on.
I was trying to go back and find number one. It'd be great if videos can say it. Series 1, this, 2, boom, 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 boom.
So it already does, Peter.
Okay, well, I'll have a look later. So the amount of people that are learning German, but I've got to tell you, there's one lady. She does it in slow German, and she'll take you to her house, inside her house, and she'll take you to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Das Klo. Do you know what that is? Yeah. Die Toilette.
The toilet.
Yeah, and then showing you, and she's slow, and she shows you, and she speaks, and it's quite good actually. I quite enjoy it, and it's just the way she does it. It's not sitting there, that, and yeah. So there's all different ways to learn as well. But I did see Angelica's, and I said, "Oh, that's a lot of stuff," and I started having a dig into it, and I think what people don't do is, and I've started to do is, I've started to use YouTube now, and I got 950 views the other day, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I thought, you don't know what you're going to talk about sometimes. I said, right, what can I do today? Yeah. So I set up my old phone as my, what do you call it, dash cam, working very well. And you can see the road ahead, and I'm chatting. People say, "That's good, that's nice, thanks for the info." And one guy come up in capital letters. Just couldn't help himself. "Can you tell me if you are driving while you are doing this, whatever," in capitals? And I just went,
"Oh yeah, no. It's annoyed. It was annoyed that you were." So
he was annoyed. Sorry.
He was annoyed that you were driving. You were talking while driving.
But I wasn't, because what happened, I said, no. Then I says, I'll tell him why. I says, I've got two phones. I've got one up in the top middle that is just like a dash cam. But my dash cam can pick up my voice.
Yeah.
So I can speak, just like you speak to somebody next to you, right? But you're still observing. Right. So I don't look at the camera. It's up there. And I've got my phone, if it rings, it goes on to automatic answer. And if I want to speak to somebody, I go, hey, Google, I won't say it, call. But that's what they're meant to be. And people just can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. So that's what happened, right? And
but sorry, I'm going to just want to clarify this. Is using a mobile phone whilst you're driving legal?
If it's hands-free.
Right, okay, yeah.
If you pick a phone up, if you tap the button, that's illegal.
Yeah.
Now, right? But if you, that's why they want you to have a cradle, they want you to have a system built in, and you just go, hey, you know who I'm talking about, call Sheila. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's what it's for. Right. Just the same as you as you listen to a radio. As long as you're hand-free, you're okay. But you're not allowed to touch the phone now. Okay?
Yeah.
So that put him to it. I never heard back from them. And then somebody said, what's your point? Now, I don't know if it was to the guy that wrote that in, or it's me, what's your point? And I did write down, didn't you read the title and didn't you look at the first bit? But then I took
no. A lot of people, I mean, I think one of the things that annoys me is somebody will put a post up and then people comment, but nobody reads the comments. I mean, when I read a post, I read the comments.
Yes.
So you don't say the same thing twice.
Yeah.
And the number of people who don't read the comments is incredible. Yeah. I mean, if you ask a question, you will get an answer. Yeah. And then somebody else will give you the answer, and somebody else will give you the same answer, and somebody else will give you the same answer, all because they haven't read the comments.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now, as you know, the other thing that's happened lately, I spend all my time in YouTube, whether I'm in a lorry, somebody driving. I watched a guy in London. It brought back memories to me because I was a lorry driver in London. But then this really great articles come up in Berlin from 1979 and 60s. Now, and it was amazing. And I've just got obsessed with looking the way Berlin has changed from 1979 when I was there to now. Completely different. It really is. But I went back to an older one. If I was to say to you the name Robert Key, would you remember that name?
It does ring some bells, yeah.
So Robert Key was a young man in this one, and he worked for the BBC at the time, and he was in Berlin, going about talking to people in Berlin when you could come from the east to the west before they put the wall up, right?
Yeah.
And then it came up that Robert, he was one of the famous 5 that started morning television in Britain. Okay, anyway, then it came up. He says he'll know Germany well, basically, because he got shot down when he was in the RAF and became a prisoner in Germany. And I didn't know that about Robert Key, you know. So it's quite amazing. How's John coming in to see what he'll be telling us what parcel he's got. But anyway, so that's what it's okay. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll bring John in. Just to Angelica and I have been. John should appear below in a second. Morning.
Morning. I'm afraid I've had a coughing fit. That's why I didn't join you. You wouldn't have enjoyed me coughing on the screen.
Okay.
There's a brilliant series which Angelica and I just binge watched. It's 4 programs, and it's basically set in London and Berlin.
Right.
And it tells the story of a building in London and a building in Berlin. Now, both of them are divided into apartments, and it tells the story of the people who lived there from the wartime up to the present day in contrasts. And it's fascinating. Right. What the researchers can actually find out about somebody who rented the house in 1940 through the war, and you know, just I'll show you the link afterwards. I was actually searching for it when we brought John on. But brilliant series, we really enjoyed it. That was series 5. We're actually starting to watch series 4 now, which is again about the history of people who lived in a particular property. Fascinating.
Yeah,
because you get to find out so much. Yeah?
And about people's lives similar, whether in Berlin or London.
Oh, they were, but their experiences during the war were vastly different.
Right.
Yeah? Because, well, I mean, it is fascinating. I mean, we are lucky to be here now because of what happened then. But
Well, one of the things I put in, I was looking at all the trains and things, and I put in Heerstrasse, and up came the Heerstrasse station for the U-Bahn underground. And I came off that station, and I says, wow, I just come off that station the other month, and straight across from it is the Anglican church that I went for the funeral. And it's it was quite amazing. But anyway, folks, so I'm obsessed with German, and one day I'm going to get it. I've actually put out a post to see if any people in Aberdeen are learning German, so we can have a meetup. I've had a couple of.
Yeah, that's good. There's a word, Peter, Stammtisch, Stamtisch, and a Stammtisch is where basically it's where Germans living in England get together, just a social meeting, and they speak in German.
Yes.
Okay, so the whole conversation in an English pub or an English coffee house, and the whole conversation is in German, and anybody can go along and just join in. and if you want to speak to people about the German language, you want to hear what their thoughts are as they speak in German, then Stammtisch,
Yeah.
STM, Tisch.
Stammtisch. Stammtisch.
Yeah.
So I might put that on and ask if there's a Stammtisch. But they tell me there's a college course, but I think they cancelled it because there wasn't enough people learning. But so there is a college course in Aberdeen, seemingly. You know?
Yeah, I mean, Angelica used to teach college locally, and basically the numbers just weren't there.
Yeah.
In the beginning, they got a good attendance, but as you go through year 1, year 2, year 3, people drop out.
One thing I've seen in Angelica is one of the videos is saying, as a water. Do you film it for her? Does she do it herself? Make the frames and everything? Is it you?
Oh, not me.
It's not you.
Not me. I have nothing to do with that. That's all Angelica.
Well done, Angelica. So there's one that really hit me. So you'll start learning German, and then you'll get frustrated, and you'll get fed up of it, and then you'll leave it. But then you'll come back, and you'll get it. For instance, I always said, wie geht es Ihnen? Danke gut und Ihnen. Now it's mir geht's gut. I never ever said that before. Anyway, that's enough about Germany. John.
Okay, let's pop over. There's a word said yesterday, which basically is the end of any. As soon as you call somebody fascist, that's the end of the story, isn't it? There's nothing worse than that. You can't actually continue from that. You can't expand on it. And the word was mentioned by Kamala Harris yesterday.
Right.
And the reactions are starting to come in.
Right.
You know, we're 13 days away from the election, and it's a coin toss as to who's going to win. Yeah. And I've got to say, it sounds as though at the moment that Kamala Harris's campaign is running out of steam.
Yes.
If you go back 6 weeks, Trump was told, stop attacking Kamala Harris, talk about the policies you've got. Okay.
Yes.
Then he said, no, I'm going to carry on attacking her. And he and J.D. Vance have attacked her every single chance that they've got. And what happens? People come down to your level. So Kamala Harris started attacking Trump.
Yeah.
And then you just got a boxing match going on.
Yeah. Well, do you know what I'm a great believer in, right?
Yeah.
If someone was allowed to go on a TV program, which they have, right? GB News, for instance, and they regarded me as a fascist, and they were allowed to go there and say everything about it, I think I should be able to come on and have a right of reply. They should not be allowed to go on willy-nilly calling me everything under the sun. I would say at least have the decency to let me come on and reply. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, I think it is, and it would basically give everybody a chance to look at both candidates together, but they can't agree on doing it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Likely between now and the election, anything will happen between, apart from sparring remotely. So once you start talking like that and start attacking each other, I've got to say, being honest, people lose interest.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're talking about policies. Yeah, sorry, Peter.
I don't watch it the same anymore. I watch other things on YouTube now. Politics, I'm sick to it. I'm up to here with the hypocrisy. And no, that's what John's got to say about it.
Yeah. Let's be a politics-free zone for the next 2 weeks, because I'm not watching as much. I mean, we spoke during the week We spoke about Professor Nez, Peter Nez.
Yes.
And he has he'd been broadcasting on YouTube for years. And then all of a sudden he found his niche with a trial which was taking. And you know, the thing that he does is he's got the video playing and he's commenting over it. He developed that technique during the trial, and that's when he's now got 100,000 subscribers. And as you worked out, he's probably making much a month?
$11,500 a month. No,
yeah.
Tell you what he is good at, because he pops up in me now. I think I have met him before, right? Many years ago.
Yeah.
And he's very good. One of the things you probably know, he's actually got brilliant thumbnails that are really expressive, and his mouth's like this, and he's got action. And I thought, wow. And I listened to him, and I was watching the case with that woman, the prosecutor, Fanny, whatever, Fanny Hill. And that's coming up. And he does pop into my timeline. And I thought, wow, he's done a good job for himself, and he's making a lot of money with it, you know?
Yeah.
But
again... but he's an overnight success that's taken years.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, he's been on YouTube. He's had the 10 and 20 views video, and he's just progressed through it. But the thing is, he had a day job. I mean, he is a college professor, teacher in class, real thing. So he had the day job, and whilst he got the day job, he built the channel up.
Yeah.
That's the way he did it. And he has a particular stance. If he was a sticker rock, he would have Trump written all the way through. Yeah. He's not. And we were speaking. It's not about. I thought it's not about logical arguments with Trump. If you put a logical argument and say that is a policy which will not work, then that carries no weight. Because people have emotional feelings about Trump. And when they see Trump, their eyes light up. And there's something about his aura which people engage with. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a passionate thing. You can't use rational argument against it. Because every time you attack, what you're actually doing is strengthening the belief.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, he's made a lot of newspapers some money. He's made TV stations keep going, because if it wasn't for President Trump at the time and after, they'd have no news, because he brings in a lot of revenue for them with the negativity against them. And it's amazing. And I love it when he calls out, he says, "Where are you from?" And he just gives them, you're fake news. And people love it. I love it as well.
The thing about it is, whatever he says doesn't have to be true or have a basis in reality whatsoever. And because he said it, it will be believed.
Well, my friend, we both think the same. We both think the same. If we were in America, we would vote Trump, me and my friend. He's ex-policeman as well. He says, "You're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you, Peter." I goes, "What?" Because he's a gambler. He says, "I've actually put a bet on for Kamala Harris to win."
Oh, no.
He says, because something will happen that will cause her to win. Don't know if it's a bit of jiggery pokery or anything like that, but that's what he said. I think there's going to be some sort of surprise.
Anything possible with 13 days to go. As for our own politics, I just want to mention one thing. I am proud that King Charles and Queen Camilla have been to Australia and are in Samoa right now. The fact that he is recovering from cancer and he can go and do that on the UK's behalf is admirable.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, but then people went away from Britain. I would give them the referendum. But I'll tell you when they went that great flag of ours, right? and many people that don't like us either as a country. When things go wrong, where is the United Kingdom? Why aren't they helping us? I said, because you wanted to go your own way. That's why.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. You're getting attacked by a country. We would have helped you. We would have put a garrison there. No point now.
No, you can't have independence and then say you want to be dependent. I can agree with you on that.
You know, say, well, let us know how you get on. But I think,
not being callous, it's being realistic, because you can't help everybody, can you?
No. It's the same with the Ukraine war. It needs to come to an end.
Yeah, but isn't the current Prime Minister, or whatever he is, very much an independent, but he won't hold the independence referendum because he knows he's going to lose it.
Yeah. You know?
So I'm going to try. Which country are we in?
I thought we were talking about Australia. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. Then I mean,
you know, Samoa has never talked about wanting to be independent. They're as rock solid as you can be. But, you know, you got that woman squealing her head off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they should, well, they took her out of the chamber in the end, didn't they? But maybe they should never have let her in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't let in. She is a politician. She was a member of the Australian Senate. She wasn't one in the crowd.
But they knew she was going to protest.
Yeah.
So they could have stopped the protest.
As Peter would, I'm going to say this, Peter probably say the same. If you've got free speech, you can't stop people talking.
No. Yeah, so I would be the sort of person that speak up now. Well, I have, to my detriment. I nearly got arrested because I spoke up. But then they got the error of their ways when I put them right about legislation. And then the crowd come on my side. But here's the point. You know, there's probably more people in Australia want to stay part of us in the Commonwealth, whatever, than there isn't wanting it, not wanting it. If they had a referendum tomorrow, I reckon the Royalists would win. What do you think?
I'm hopeful that would happen too. I mean, basically, we've not done anything other than ever support Australia, and from my point of view, we can't have an argument for not being part of the Commonwealth.
Yeah, sure. How's the scenario? She wins her case, right? Yeah. Then the Aborigine says, oh, by the way, who are you? Are you an Aborigine? We want our country back. On your bike. There you go.
Well, the Aborigine never have not accepted that they're part of the Commonwealth and that the head of state is our king. So they are being consistent in that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I did, so we can get a break for a minute, I did a video yesterday, which we're going to play because it's relevant to what's going on at the moment. So we've got a 2-minute break coming up. And during that 2 minutes, we're going to watch and listen to. Peter's going to get a coffee. It gives us a chance to have a break. I'm just waiting for my studio to catch up. And hopefully I'm not breaking it, because I think my computer's updated at the moment. And I'm just going to go down and I'm going to play a video clip. Now, next week is 31st of October, which means it's Halloween. And if you're thinking of broadcasting at Halloween, OneStream Live have put together, well, show you. We're in my OneStream Live studio, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a look around and see what OneStream have actually done so that we can prepare for our Halloween broadcasts. That's basically the preparation. So if I go to design, bring the design up on the screen, And then I go to backgrounds. And from backgrounds to images, we have backgrounds we can use, and you're free to use any of these. They've all been created for the 31st of October. So the first one, Pumpkin Street. And if I switch my camera off for a moment, then you can get a closer look. So that's the first one, which is Pumpkin Street. The second one is Nightmare. And if I this time I'll do it properly, remove myself from the stream. I'm going to remove that from the stream. So there you have it. It's a very spooky setting. That's called Nightmare. So we've looked at Pumpkin, we've looked at Nightmare, and we've looked now at Scary Night. Okay, you can switch between these at any time once you're broadcasting. And finally, so we've got 4 backgrounds which are all themed around Halloween. So just to go recap, we go for design, we go for background and images, and then we can bring in any of the images that are actually been designed by the OneStream Live graphics team and click them, and we can switch over at will. So there are 4 backgrounds at least which you can find and use. Now in addition to that, if I just go here, this is very impressive. If I go down to overlays, there is a new overlay, animated overlay, which is down here, and it is not spring flowers, it's spooky. Now the spooky overlay you can show at any time on your screen, and you can see the pumpkins, and you can see the ghosts, you can see the spider. All of this is animated, and it all works in your OneStream Live Studio just by simply clicking on overlays, and that's it. Simple and straightforward to do. So when it comes to dressing your studio, you have the ability to actually use backgrounds. Let's take this off. You can use backgrounds, you can use overlays, you can combine the two together. No problem in doing that. And now we can see the ghostly figures and the witches on broomsticks. It's all on the theme of Halloween, or All Hallows Eve, and it's so simple and straightforward to use. If you've got any questions though, do let me know.
Okay, thank you for that. Ooh.
Right, now you saw it stop before I did. So yeah, okay, so we are broadcasting from OneStream Live. Those are in your OneStream Live studio now, and I did a video yesterday, which is the most popular I've done on the OneStream Live YouTube channel, and it explains everything about setting up your studio for the 31st of October. Okay, there we have it.
Well done.
Thank you. Last week, I mentioned that I was stopping Grammarly, which has been checking my spelling and my grammar for the last 5 years, and I was looking for something new. John suggested a product which I took a look at, a chargeable version for that though. Well, long story short, I've now found a piece of software which does everything I want. It's called Notion, Notion.so, and basically you can create documents, you can create websites, you can do single page websites, you can bring in text and images, video, and you basically, it's a whiteboard onto which you can put anything. So I've been using that this week, and it cost the princely sum of £10 a month. So I'm happy now. So I've got rid of Grammarly, that's gone, and I'm now using Notion.so, which means that I can plan my shows effectively.
Very good.
Okay.
Now, yeah, I don't use grammar. I used the free bit, then it got me on nerves because it kept one. They all do great until they want the money. Then they start annoying you with pop-ups and stuff like that. I just want free, so I'm gonna have to have a look at free stuff. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Let's have the weekly look at X. You all know what X is. You don't need to say
it was formerly Twitter.
You don't need to say it used to be a marathon bar because people say Snickers now, right? So get used to it. Right.
Yeah.
John, it's in your area. Birmingham Airport has been closed. The police have issued a statement informing those travelling there not to go. All
that was yesterday morning, yeah.
But it's actually trending today in the United Kingdom.
Yeah,
but
well,
it did happen
somebody
yesterday.
left their car and caused a problem because they left their car in a sensitive area.
I think this is to do with drugs, actually. This is the one that's come in. So that's what's trending there. That's me. Let's see. I'll tell you what's trending worldwide. So the first one, I'll give you the first three, is Trump is trending. So if you want to go look and see what's happened there. Second is Pakistan versus England is trending. And the
That's
third
cricket
one,
for you.
cricket, yeah. And the third one, I'll tell you what that is the passing of Jeff Capes. Do you remember Jeff?
Oh, Jeff Capes, a brilliant athlete, footer, and a credit to sport, really, Peter.
Yeah. He was a good guy, actually. He was a funny guy as well.
He was a policeman, wasn't he, originally?
Yeah. So I'll tell you what's trending. So you've got For You, if you don't use X, and you've got trending, right? Which is basically worldwide. So for me, it's Birmingham Airport. Second, it's Trump. And the third one is resign. And guess who they're asking to resign? Sadiq Khan.
Who?
Sadiq Khan. The man that's getting £800 a car selling them off if they don't pay their ULEZ fine. Did you know that's happening?
Right, he's getting the money, Peter. That's just
But whoever's getting the money. But it's costing. It's average of people are buying them for £800. There's a scam going on, I think.
I mean, if you impound a car, then you've got it costs money to actually store it in London, doesn't it? I mean, space is at a premium, so you've got to get rid. So you get rid of it, and you get rid of a car at auction. I mean, I remember back in the day, I was an auditor, and as an auditor, accountant, I went around and did audits of the books, so that you would be happy. And we went to a place called the Lancashire Car Exchange, and the Lancashire Car Exchange was in Burnley, and basically that's where they sold the cars that couldn't be sold privately because they need some work on them.
Yes.
So I mean that's when there's car exchanges and car auctions still take place, John.
Yes. Yeah. We've got a place up here, but I know for a fact all the dealers get together and say, you get that one, that one. There's a bit of a thing going on, you know, and they're getting the nod if it's I mean, these people get their cars repossessed because they're in debt and that. If it's worth 10 grand, they'll sell it for about 2 to the dealers, you know, and so that's the way. Do you know what I'm excited about? I'm going to be meeting John just shortly in Birmingham.
If he turns up.
They'll turn up.
What date are we saying, Peter?
I'm coming down on the 6th, and I'll be arriving at the airport at 8 o'clock in the morning. I've got all day, right? And I've been looking at what I like about YouTube. I've been talking YouTube, and there's a monorail that goes from the airport and takes you to International Train Station.
Yeah.
And I go on platform 5 after that. So I just checked it on YouTube. Yeah.
Right.
I do hope that you can meet me. If there's any parcels that day, get somebody else to get them.
So that's Wednesday the 6th.
No, I'm down on the 5th.
Are you down on the 5th?
I'm coming down on the 5th. I always like to come a day early. Then I'm going through to Milton Keynes by train, right? And then I go to my function next day. I've got a function at night. And then in the morning, I've got all day to go back to Birmingham and get a later flight about 4 o'clock from Birmingham to Aberdeen for £12 each way.
Yeah, you told us that last week.
Let's
just try and refine this. When do you actually arrive at the station on the 5th, Peter?
On the 5th, I arrive at the airport at 8 in the morning. The flight comes in at 8 in the morning. So I'll leave at 6:35 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'll be in at 8 o'clock. You don't have to come in at that time, John, because you can come and see me. I'll sit and have a coffee and things. But I really would like to see you. And we can do a video, me and you, for the show.
We need proof. We need proof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned deaths of famous people.
Yeah.
Tarzan died last night. Ron Ely, the black and white films.
Ron Ely.
I thought he was going long ago.
Ely, isn't it? Anyway, he died yesterday.
How old was he?
I think it was 86.
Oh, wow. Oh, man, watching that as kids.
Yeah. Ron Ely, 86 it was.
Yeah. Tarzan. Great. Wow. I've got to tell you, I thought it was so long ago. I didn't realise. I thought he would have been about 100, you know. And there's a thing on Facebook. It pops up on your screen. You've no choice. And it's all the older stars when they were younger. And the song goes with, I don't know if you see it. You see them now, and someone that says died at this age. And it just, you just look back at life, you know, and so I remember her. And then she's old. Yeah. And then you say, I wouldn't have got with her now. That's a bit cruel.
But cruel, no, it's basically the thing is that at what age do you remember somebody? Do you remember when they were acting or singing? I mean, and we're not naming names because it wouldn't work, to be fair to everybody. But there are people now, men and women, who don't look anything like what they looked when they were famous.
The biggest
more, but I know what you mean, Peter.
The biggest one for me, and I was in love with this woman, Debbie Harry. Beautiful woman, to me anyway. And then I see her now. She's changed.
I've got to tell you, Peter, we have something in common because I was thinking of Debbie Harry too.
And like Annie Lennox, I think she's 70 odd as well now, and she's from Aberdeen. She's quite one of the famous ones, and I do believe she went out with my school teacher, who was a drummer in a band many years ago, and Emily Sandy, but she's still a young lassie. My cousin gave her a break, give her his nightclub to sing and things like that. So I told you about that before. But yeah. And,
Jim McCall, Peter? Jim McCall? Jim McCall.
Jim McCall died. He was
89, died day before yesterday.
I was actually in a TV programme with Jim, and he'd done all the gardening, and I came in about dealing with wasps. You know, I've been on TV a few times over my career. I forgot some of the
42 years he presented Beech Grove.
Yeah, the Beech Grove Garden, which actually, it used to be beside the BBC studios, in it, but then they moved them out to near an area called West Hill, which was completely away from it. And but as I say, time moves on, does it? And yeah. So
we say good morning to Corinda, who's watching on Facebook, and he's been watching for quite a while. I've just found his comments because I then just switched the comments on. We got so carried away with what we were doing, and all right. And Corinda is asking a question, which we'll take. Any new update on Live TV? And I believe that Amazon Prime Day is correct. Amazon Prime Day has been and gone. We are all waiting for Black Friday, which is coming up, and Be Live recently, because this is relevant to all here, Be Live celebrated its 8th birthday this week.
Okay.
So Be Live has been going for 8 years.
Well done, Be Live.
Yep.
The other Timo is actually having sales, but they've actually got UK warehouses with stuff in them now. Timo, yeah. So that's coming out as well. But listen, I got to tell you about a gadget I got yesterday. I downloaded it, and I was on with Anna Breeze, with a guy that does writing. And what his job is going into firms and stop them speaking in gobbledygook that we don't understand, and instead of assist, help, things like that, different words. But so I downloaded what she uses, and it's called Big View. Have you heard of it?
Nope.
It's a teleprompter. Now, you can get it free, but they always try and get you to buy, but you don't. And I used it on my phone. And you make out your script. You can get an AI script, or you can make it yourself. You write it in. You put your phone on, right?
Yeah.
You push a button, and you go, "Hi, I'm Peter Stewart, and what I'm going to tell you about today is this." And you'll see that as a short, my first ever short. I'd no option it was a short, because YouTube said this is a short. So there's a short up there, right? Can you play it, Stephen? Would you be able to get it?
I can't get anything from YouTube because we're on OneStream.
All right, beg your pardon. So if you look it up, you'll see my life's hack.
Mm-hmm. I have a problem. I know I've got many problems, but I have a problem with, just a minute, with teleprompters. I don't think I could ever use a teleprompter, because to actually sit here and say, "Good morning, this is Blabbing for Britain, episode 439." I couldn't do it. I couldn't read a script.
Well,
I'm not.
I don't need it either, because my friend says, "What do you need it for? You can speak off the cuff." But what it also does, there's lots of things it can do for you. It can actually, you hit the eye button and it fixes on your eyes. No? And you can slow the speed of it. It's not everybody that can go and talk willy-nilly. They've got to write it down. And instead of maybe looking at a bit of paper to the right, you're looking right into the camera. You should give it a wee go, see what it's like. It's free. Download it on your phone. And when you speak, and it just scrolls up and you're looking at it. I will give you a tip. As soon as you click that button, it starts to move. You don't get any seconds to go. You just go. But I thought it was quite a good thing for people and good memories and things like that, you know. It's called Big View.
We know that politicians use teleprompters. We know that newsreaders use teleprompters, so they're in everyday use. Yeah. But as you just said, I mean, basically we're so used, after 439 episodes, we're used to just talking off the cuff. A teleprompter just wouldn't work. Especially, I mean, it works solo, but it wouldn't work in a scenario where you've got 3 people on screen. No.
It's just something that's out there for people. But Anna, coming from the BBC and things like that, they use it. A lot of the journalists use it, and they write their script, and it slowly. That's what they do in a TV studio anyway. You know, if you look at the TV studios, you know. And so it's just amazing, all the gadgets that are out there. I'm always looking for gadgets, you know.
Oh, we all. I'm pretty sure we have a thing about gadgets. John's got gadgets. John's going to show us his latest gadget. John, it's over to you.
This is a cable. It's quite a strong one because it's a flat braided cable, but the beauty of it is probably can't see.
Put it up a bit. Put it up a bit. Yeah.
So that's a lightning connector, that end.
Yeah.
And that's a standard flat USB.
Yes.
That's okay if you've got an Apple, but it's no good if you've got an Android phone. So you simply pull the end down and hey presto, you've got the connection for USB-C.
That is very
good.
handy.
But until you get a more modern Amazon phone where you need a USB-C at the other end too. So simply by pulling and twisting the thing around, you can end up with all the different combinations of phone with just one cable.
Now, I do think that there's going to be a new law coming where they're going to make everybody have a USB-C. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's a European legislation.
Yeah.
But I do believe we're going to follow it.
Yeah. We'd be silly not to. But, so did you say an Amazon phone?
Android phone.
Oh, it's an Android.
You said Amazon.
You said Amazon. I thought they were bringing out their phone.
No, I said Android phone.
Okay, right. We'll watch it back and we'll get it next week. I think Tesla's always threatening to get a phone.
Tesla now have a phone, don't they?
I don't know.
The problem in our household is some people have Android phones, some people have Oppos, some people have Samsungs, and you end up with a plethora of different plugs and sockets and things. This just fixes the problem. Whoever wants to charge their phone can use the single cable.
I'm the same. I'm back. I never bought a new tab because Andy's got one from anyway from my business, but I've got my iPad now and I use my iPad all the time and I quite enjoying the iPad again, you know. And you know, I've got 10 blooming phones, SIM cards with 3, yeah. So it's amazing how you build them up, you know. So how for time? It's 10:52. Anything new? There's nothing much being said in Scotland at the moment, folks. There's all sorts of rumours, but I can tell you Alex Salmond's flight came back. And the guy that brought him back didn't particularly get on with him. It's a guy called Sir Tom Hunter who built it.
Isn't he the original owner of Quick Fit?
No, Sir Tom Hunter built up some JB Sports or something like that. It was fashion. And you're thinking of Sir Tom Farmer. Anyway, Farmer. So Sir Tom actually is a philanthropist. He didn't really believe in his politics and he voted Labour, this guy. And he actually secretly hired a plane to take him back. But it was so
sports division it was, Tom Hunter.
And he was under so much pressure. The press wanted to know it was, and he says it was me. Yeah. And so there you go. So he's up in this with it, and the flight came into Aberdeen, and there's a lot of motorbikes going up, and made a cavalcade up to his house in a place called Strichen. I don't know if he's going to get buried there, but one thing for sure, Nicola Sturgeon has been told in no uncertain terms that she's not getting to the funeral.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, they have said it's going to be family only.
Okay.
And no one else.
Yeah. And
I think his wife said we're going to keep politics out of it.
Yes. Yeah. And I thought he might get buried where he come from. But you know, he stays in Strichen. You know what else is it's famous for, do you? I was telling my new bookkeeper that she stays in Strichen. English lady from Cheshire.
Mhm.
I says, do you know what it's famous for? She goes, what?
Nope, no idea.
It was Dennis Nielsen.
Oh, you told us this last week.
Yeah.
You did. Yeah.
I says, so what? They might eat you there.
Yeah. Did you see the respect that he was treated with in Macedonia with a military
Yes.
support?
Yeah.
And then being taken out to the aircraft by 6 soldiers, a bagpiper. I thought it was, decent for him to be shown such respect by a little country.
I mean, the thing is, soldiers in war, politicians, if people only knew, some of them, do you know, some of the people don't realise some of them actually playing, bands together. Might be a Conservative playing with a Labour man in the same band down at Westminster. But I seen nothing, it's not nice, but it is nice. There was a Russian soldier lying injured in a trench.
Mm-hmm.
And the drone came over, looked at him, and the guy lay there and put his hands up. The drone came back. Do you know what he'd done?
No.
Dropped him a bottle of water.
Right.
And then it came back and it dropped him a note. And it said, walk this, try and get this way, go that way, and you'll get medical aid. You'll become a prisoner. And I thought that was fantastic,
Yeah.
And he'd put the soldier had been put out of action. No need to kill him. Could have, but
yeah,
a bit of compassion in war.
Yeah, that's what we need. That's what the world should run on: compassion. Now over to sport. We've already mentioned cricket, which is trending on X, so it must be important, Peter. England versus Pakistan is trending on X. Basically, it's the third test. England won the first test, Pakistan won the second, and this is the decider. It's over 5 days, and may the best team win. Although it has to be said that Pakistan has spent 7 days preparing the wicket by having a fan at either end of the pitch and drying the pitch out so their spinners will be able to bowl England out. Now, it's all legal, and I'm not saying it isn't, but it is. It's not sportsmanship, really. Anyway, talking of sportsmen, let's go over to Lancashire, to Burnley.
Come on. What's this second division rubbish? Come on, we've got a team that's top of the flipping European Championship League. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're talking about weekly things which are important because the Championship, Burnley, the North is top, Sunderland are top, Burnley are currently second, which is totally different from last year's year when we were actually bottom of the league. We're now next to top. The thing is, though, as I said previously, we want to finish in sort of 7th place, but for the moment, second will do. So there we are. John, it's over to you.
We're 4th in the Premier League and top of the Champions League. 2 years ago, we're struggling to stay out the bottom 3. So our Spaniard has turned us round terrifically. Anyway, is it time to go?
Not quite. We've got 2 minutes, I think.
2 minutes.
I'll give you something that's popped up from Scotland. I don't know if you're aware of this. The SNP minimum unit pricing for alcohol made no significant difference to heavy drinkers, except they paid £24 a week more for their booze. And so what's happening now is people are actually sending online for their alcohol in Scotland to get it over the border. And so that's what happened. So they're getting more stuff delivered from England with alcohol.
So a can you get Tesco's to deliver over the border?
Well, for whoever, somebody's doing it, and I think there's probably people going to go over the border in vans, buy a load of booze, and take it back and sell it. That's what will be happening. It just creates a black market, and that's why, as a country, we should all be the same. You know, we should be united.
No borders. No borders.
No borders, and everybody should say. And I am sick of it. One of the worst things for me was having a devolved government and all that money spent on a parliament. Right, it has just sucked the money from us. Yeah, 2 different health services, 2 different this and 2 different that, and it is just sucked everything away from us. Close the place down tomorrow. That's my view. Does that surprise you?
Oh, just a minute. I don't have to say anything. Corinda is saying, John, over to you.
Yeah.
Nice one, Corinda. He means it.
Really? Well, it's 11 o'clock, so it's time to go. And we can all ponder on Pete's bring us all back together and remove the Welsh Parliament and the Scottish Parliament and Northern Ireland. So same time, same place next week, and the discussion can continue then. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Have a better week than me.
We've got a video playing us out, I think. I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah. OneStream Live have created the OneStream Live Halloween Hub, where you can cast a spell with live streaming magic and celebrate Halloween with OneStream Live. Now, this is basically everything that you need to create the most amazing, memorable Halloween broadcast, and you'll find it at OneStream Live Halloween. It's interactive. You can select a trick or a treat. I'm not going to show you what's behind there because you want to discover that for yourself. You'll find a video which explains what you can do.
Welcome to our spooktacular online.
And below that, you can create your own virtual haunted mansion. You can host a virtual party with guests, create spooky hosted live pages. Each of these is clickable and gives you more information. And you can multi-stream to up to 45 different destinations. Halloween tips and tricks. Blog posts have been created giving you advice on how to create your spooktacular broadcast. So you can go and read those. There are assets in your OneStream Live studio for virtual backgrounds, overlays, intros and outros. You've got assets that you can actually use, ideas again, and then you've got the music and sound effects with playlists that you can play during your broadcast. And then you could run a Halloween movie marathon, or you can play games. And if you're playing games, the other week I did a session on using OBS. So you could bring an OBS